Thank you, and once again, good morning from Belgrade, honorable eminences and distinguished colleagues. But before I take the floor, I would like to remember and praise Father and Professor Antoine Melki from University of Balamand in Lebanon, who left us suddenly in the midst of Lebanese Armageddon. He contributed to the preparation of this conference and was a bright ray of hope in reflecting our relationship between religion and science. Aware of the danger that threatened us all, he started a plan of a conference on a metaverse towards the end of his life. I take these words of mine as a tribute to his idea and his life struggle. Okay. After centuries of silently accepting the advance of modernity and progress, we are finally forced to pause and ask new questions instead of giving ready-made answers. Is there an affinity between pre-modern Christianity and post-modern artificial intelligence? Are they comparable and suitable for dialogue as different forms of culture? Will Christianity morph into AI and use AI tools for communication and even communion? Or will AI morph into Christianity and become the religion of salvation? It seems to be the same symmetrical process, but this is not the case. The difference is that for the first time, we are not intentional subjects, but at the same time, almost the helpless object of technological interventions. A reversal has more or less tacitly taken place, and at the moment, man, not nature or other objects, are the fundamental resource of technology. Through the worship of technology, man is no longer man, but the resource of big data only. This development is due to the strong relativization of the human image by the mechanical philosophy of transhumanism and artificial intelligence.
Professor,
yes.
I'm sorry, can you bring your microphone nearer to your mouth? We can't hear.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Is it okay now?
It's all right now. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, this development is due to the strong relativization of the human image by the mechanical philosophy of transhumanism and artificial intelligence, which has put an end to the rational optimism of the Enlightenment. Although transhumanism does not represent fundamental temptation for Orthodox religion due to its transcendental position on the question of filioque, the disturbing problem of the degradation of nature remains. The ego subject, corrupted by conformity, leads the object to destruction, which increases the tsunami of extinction of countless living beings, the brutal deforestation, and the darkening of the atmosphere through the criminal fight against CO2, which is blamed for climate change, although without CO2, no vegetation is possible. So within the crusade against CO2 is hidden fight against the life itself. Now it seems to be late for everything. History is corrupted because the main problem is that everything is heading towards the end faster and faster. We are practically living at the end of history and its concept, which has been cultivated for so long in both religious and enlightened thought. What is interesting is that this process is on man's own making. The paradox is that man himself proclaims prophecy that he is coming to an end. American and Russian thinkers, Francis Fukuyama and Alexander Dugin, who start from quite different positions, agree that the main battle is about who will dominate the end of history. The first side of the problem of the end of history is that we have lost our subjectivity in human form. It seems as if angels and demons are fighting while we are just passively watching. Our subjectivity has lost its ground during the 2020 COVID-19 epidemic. Many Christian temples have been closed for fear of illness and death. This contradicts the fundamental Christian pursuit of immortality. Belief in immortality has been left in favor of mortality issues. Freedom was abandoned in favor of security. This shows that materiality has gained the upper hand over spirituality, even in the temples, as the last defense of transcendental reality. This is the deepest crisis of Christianity since the rise of Protestantism. After the COVID-19 breakdown, people more or less lost themselves behind masks that did not prevent them from swallowing the lies and delusion of post-truth tales about a virus that has never been isolated. Just as the prevailing financial system of Bretton Woods has no basis in gold, post-truth illusions need no underpinning. They are self-sufficient and spread without any connection to reality. The question is, what can be built of this desolate shamble? The second side of the same problem is that it's too late to talk about artificial intelligence and religion. It is pointless to talk about ethics when the big wave becomes a flood. To invoke ethics at this point is, in short, like challenge the sea in a nutshell. It is also pointless to talk about artificial intelligence itself because it symbolically and practically ended on March 10th, 2019, when the Ethiopian Airlines Boeing 737 crashed 6 minutes after takeoff. It was an open collision between humans and AI, as the AI took over the human pilot's commands and deliberately crashed the plane to the ground. The airplane sensors were blamed for this, but that was not the case. It was the real end of the romance between humans and AI, revealing their fundamental relationship. This crash sent not only the plane, but symbolically the whole world into chaos of shards of the crash landing of humans in the world of machines and vice versa. Such a state opens the door for invasion of digital army of avatars, replacing the analog natural beings, including humans, to banish them from the world and bring them into the metaverse. The metaverse is projected as the only exit strategy from the broken world. Descartes' thinking self, ego cogito, is replaced by digital identity, which becomes a prerequisite for the maintenance of life. Life without digital image is going to be not possible. It will soon no longer be permitted. Incidentally, this is also the reason why, at the moment, I am not in Athens. This is matter of symbolic personal resistance, because I cannot accept the new digital rules for entering the EU. They are gradually turning people into digital illusions. Artificial intelligence is just an advanced software platform that has nothing intelligent or intelligible about it. The use of the word intelligence in this context is pure economy of fake. And if we continue to use this word, even in a critical sense, we are inevitably double-crossed. Only God or an idea of God can make a being intelligent. If God were made intelligent through technology, he would become a symmetrical mirror image. The Antichrist is not the person, but the mirror image of God, exactly the same, except that he is not alive. The technology attempts to take the attributes of divinity, personhood, omnipotence, omnipresence, omniscience, and finally, immortality. This is a serious attempt in which the Antichrist turns out to be a symmetry, a reflexive digital culture, a collection of simulacra, while God remains forever and ever light that has nothing to do with such a capitalism of artificial illusions. In a word, artificial intelligence is one of the many faces of capitalism. Its new iron fist that wants to postpone the end of capitalism and continue the vacuumization of social life. The truth of capitalism is that anyone who refuses to obey the program of artificial intelligence will perish. The dilemma of capitalism zealots is simple: either artificial intelligence or death. It is no longer God who stands between life and death, but idol of artificial intelligence. The main product of technological beast is the transformation of the world into an image. When the world and the image are identified, everything is nullified and disappears into darkness. This is much more dangerous and real than wars, because nothing is more real than a seductive illusion. From every war, someone will emerge. From misguided illusions, no one will escape. Surrounded by mirrors on all sides, I mean black mirrors, first of all, people have no choice but to surrender to the metaverse and as the highest form of illusion. They cannot distinguish the boundless chimeras from the pure truth that lies somewhere behind everything, but of which no one knows where. People must understand that mirrors must be broken in search for the truth. To sum up, the main current today is the accelerated transition from the analog to the digital world. In this context, I would like to emphasize that behind all these processes, there is a mirror as the most powerful cognitive engine for creating a parallel world. In this way, technology becomes a mirror of theology. In a historical reversal, it makes immortality the main theme of technology and tries to reduce religion to the fear of death. Technology tries to displace the rule of theology by mirroring it. We have fallen prey to this undermining process and worship mind-altering technology as a new religion. It seeks to replace the soul with the digital cloud and inevitably all qualities with its mirror images. In this way, technology has practically taken over, or if I may so, hijacked theology. Technology would not be such a challenge if it did not take the hidden theological form. Technology is the fundamental result of this kind of thinking and acting. To conclude, technology beautifies itself in the mirror and becomes a seductive chimera of repressed narcissistic human fears and desires. In this technodeism, it seems that artificial intelligence will magically solve all our problems and create immortality based on the chemical wedding of man and machine. Artificial intelligence is the shadow of life, a great black cloud that obscures the sun and promotes death, while at the same time acting as a savior. Even, even it is still committed to the concept of progress. Inconvenient true is that technology is only a shadow of theology. Even if it invokes progress, it always lags behind the basic principles, and it is our responsibility not to take a lag behind like a shadow of a shadow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor.